Today's video is sponsored by OneFootball. Get all the latest updates from the Premier League and hundreds of other top fixtures from around the world, as well as the latest scores, videos, fixtures, stats, and more for everything related to football. Link is in the description. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to one of my more realistic type series that I put out, well, every now and then. It's been a while actually since I've done one, so that's why I'm putting this video out today. But it's going to be slightly different, and excuse the players coming out through the subs bench. This is a modded stadium on PC, Craven Cottage. I actually quite like the look of it, and that's what we're playing here because I think it looks the part. It's very enclosed, it's a smaller stadium, and you get a little bit better of an atmosphere. But today's video, we are discussing, for me, PES 2020, and how I think this game should look out of the box. Because with the amount of mods we have on PC this year, I think Konami could use this, ultimately use this as a foundation for the next installment. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about real quickly before we get into it is the camera angle itself. Now, for me, this is an issue because this can be the difference between making a game look fantastic, more of a simulation than it not. Now, this isn't the default live broadcast camera angle. I've tweaked it, but let's have a look at some of these camera angles and some that I just feel like they're not even needed. I mean, I don't use any of these, but some of you guys may. So, of course, we've got fan view, which is a little bit further out. Then we have these ones, which people may play on Become a Legend. But even on Become a Legend, I feel like you lose a lot of the field. You can't see anything behind you. So we've got the vertical one. I think they could get rid of that. Player, okay. Some people may use that on Become a Legend. Some may not. Blimp is more of an overview of the whole field. It could be good on My Club if you want to see everything. But then we sort of had the mid-range, which for me, it doesn't do a whole lot. Yeah, you can customize it, but it's very minimal. And when you start playing around, especially angle really doesn't do anything. When you start playing around with these, it just doesn't look good, I don't think. Really the best one would be dynamic wide, because you can, get a little bit more of a sense of a real-life match. But live broadcast is where it's at. I think it's something that Konami could work on, as in we can customize it. Customize live broadcast like you can on PC. Now I can hit the space bar and then I can go here to the switcher that I have, and I can change these on the fly. I can make this zoom out as much as I want. Obviously can't go too far because it'll be up into space. You can change the height. So if you want to see sort of less of the crowd, you could do that. If you want to see more of the crowd, you could pull it down as well. I think these are options that, why can't we add this into the game itself? Camera range, that's how far the camera pans around from left to right. The problem playing with that on PC is it does mess up the controls ever so slightly, and the other two aren't really that relevant. But just having that option to make it look like this. Okay, so now we get into the gameplay, and I think you'd agree that this looks far better than any live broadcast we have. And also, let's try and remove that ridiculous zoom-in feature that they have as well. You can do it on PC. There's a tool that enables you to disable it. That's a bit of a late one, ref. But you can't do it on consoles. So if you play on live broadcast, every now and then, as a very early yellow card, every now and then you will have the camera zoom in on you down the flanks and completely mess everything up because you can't see anything else but one player dribbling with the ball. So that'll be my first pet peeve right there on consoles and out the box, removing that silly Billy zoom in feature when you're on broadcast, because it just doesn't help. So that's the first thing, camera angle. I think they do need to up them, change them, and really just give us more range and freedom and customization to make it look the part. Now, when we're talking about gameplay, I'm ultimately talking about Master League and offline, because I know online it's different. You're going to come up against people that you can't deal with or you can't do anything about. If they want to spam a certain way, then they can do that. You can't control someone who's playing online. So this really is more about sort of Master League and Become a Legend and any kind of offline modes. So the next point I have is the pace of the game. I still feel like PES is too fast out the box. I've had to tweak it a lot, or they have to tweak it a lot on PC to get it to slow down. I've slowed it down a little bit in this video. It also depends on the CPU tactics. If they're playing all-out defense, then you'll get a little bit more freedom on the ball. If they're not playing that, then of course they're going to pressure you. I've made it so that Crystal Palace do pressure us a little bit more, so we don't get as much freedom. But ultimately, I do like the pace of this as opposed to sort of the default game. Now, I know that you can go in there and you can hit -1 and -2 and +0 and +0 and +1 and +2. But for me, all that really does is slow down the animations, and that's it. It doesn't make it playable because it just slows everything down animation-wise instead of really just sort of slowing down the tempo. So I think they have to fix that, make it optional how you want to play. We've always spoke about sliders, and some people agree and some don't. I still think Konami could do sliders. That would fix a lot of the problems out of the box for a lot of people offline. If you had a slider that enabled you to make the goalkeeper come out a little bit more, or be a little bit better, or a little bit worse, you know, Konami wouldn't have to go in here and patch it 9 times out of 10. Sorry about the replays, but this is a created stadium that's been added to the game, so yeah, some of the angles are off. But yeah, simply having a couple of sliders would give us that ability to fix a few little niggles that maybe we see out the gate when we do get the game. Could have been done this year with the problems that we saw with the goalies not coming out. If they had an option to do that, then we could have said, hey, let's fix it ourselves, but we didn't. So you know, we had to wait a long time for Konami to come out with a patch. But I just think if you have a look at this, it looks great, it plays nice, it's smooth, it's clean, you can see the atmosphere, and this is a really good base and foundation for Konami to take back to the headquarters and say, look, let's try and get PES 2020 to look like this out of the box. And they can basically go from there. Then they can start incorporating new animations and new cutscenes, because yeah, we see the same cutscenes over and over again. I think it's time for some new ones. You know, even the substitutions are always the same, and there's no reason why they can't. I think they just, I don't know why they don't update them. Maybe they just decide to leave them for whatever purpose. Let's have a bit of a manual strike there, but that was a little bit wayward. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you got the game ultimately like this for PES 2020 and they said, you know, what do you make of it? But obviously they did do more mocap, more animations, and the goalkeepers have been changed. The referees are another big issue we can talk about as well. I think no one could complain too much if the game looked like this out of the box, because, you know, from the comments I've seen, people love the look of PES. It's the little niggles that is really making it hard work for people to get in there and sort of enjoy the gameplay. Now, if I was to get... Let's do this real quick. Let's give... Actually, you know what? I'm through on goal, so I might as well try and score this. Go on, Mitrovic! Let's do a little bit layered across the face! And he's missed it. Unbelievable. Absolute shocking miss that was. We're not going to see the replay with that view. But, yeah, let's give the AI the ball real quick and talk about this. So, if I was to give it to Crystal Palace... Let's try and head it back to him. See what they do. All right, they have the ball. Although I kind of want to give it to them in their own half. I think they have it set up right now as long ball. Referee, nothing given. Zaha with a go. But look, have a look at it. You know, he shot from distance. This was another problem that happened when the game came out this year. The AI would not... There's no way the AI would have done this. Turned and hit that on a dime with PES 2019 last year or this year out the box. It didn't happen. It was a problem. Something that needed to be addressed. Next year, I just don't expect these types of problems. So now look, let's give the AI the ball. Let's play a little bit defensive and see what they do with the ball. Now, if you have the game on default, you would probably know that they play tiki-taka all day. It's fast 1-2 football, and that's it. They don't do that as much here because they've been coded differently. What's happened is that the community, the PC community, have gone in here and they've changed a couple of things. That's the foul, referee. Thank you very much. They've changed a couple of things, which has negated that purpose of the AI getting the ball down, playing 1-2 football all the way up the field. And it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're Barcelona, you know, or you're Reading. They all play the same. But with this file, that doesn't happen. You don't see that as often. If you've watched my Master League series, and that's a big thing. If you want to see a lot of this gameplay, watch my Master League series, because it shows you how the AI play and how random they are, because they are very, very random. Anything can happen. So watch them again now. They'll start playing the football. They'll take a couple more touches. They'll spread it out wide. You see, it was a misplaced pass, though. I've got nothing wrong with that. The odd pass going out of play and not everything being 100% accurate, because as a human ourselves, we know we make mistakes, right? It happens. Of course it does. But the CPU, it's programming, right? It's robots. They may not make, as if any, mistakes, and when it keeps happening and happening and happening, it really is quite frustrating to play the game. So, you know, to have that next year... Oh, there we go. Lovely ball. That's beautiful. Well played, boys. Dinked it over the top, and we scored a goal. I think a lot of the problems as well is, as I say, the smaller teams playing like the bigger teams. I don't see that as much on PC because, yeah, I don't know. There's something that's been done differently. The goalie could have come out there. He didn't. You know, the defender went for the header. He missed it. It happens. Whatever. One thing I will talk about in the second half, they are actually making a lot of mistakes in this game. But yeah, they're rushing, they're panicking at times, they're giving it away sloppily. And now you'll see they'll try and probably work it around the other way as we're backing away. Actually, that's a decent ball over the top. I don't know where my goalie is that time. Probably should have bought him out. So there's an instant reply. And we've had 2 goals in the matter of 2 minutes. Mr. Wilfried Zaha. Celebrations are alright. I mean, they could always add more. Okay, so we are now into the second half, and yeah, let's get back into a bit of the gameplay. Another thing let's talk about as well, which it does actually sort of affect the gameplay because it's part of the match itself. I would say the chance. I mean, we don't see a whole lot of chance. Good save, keeper. And I know we used to have the ability to add our own. I don't know if there was a problem there, licensing issues, that Konami took it out because it was there, wasn't it? And then it sort of got removed. But you know, you don't get enough chance from the crowds, and yeah, licensing is an issue, but Konami do have licenses as well. I mean, there are licensed teams, and you don't hear the crowds you would hear, you know, when you actually go to that stadium. I don't think you hear too much at Liverpool, Anfield on PES, or the Emirates. You know, these are little things that all add sort of to the gameplay, especially for myself. I'm a big Master League player. I'm a big Master League player. I'm not a huge online guy. I don't really enjoy it because for me, you know, online is all about egos and, you know, it's fast, it's quick. I like to play more of a simulation. This is why this is my kind of opinion about PES 2020 and what I want to see, because I've played the hell out of PES 2019 offline, and I've enjoyed the PC version because of these mods. And honestly, if PES... Oh, that's a good-looking ball! Unlucky. Now, there is also a lot of random misses that will happen. I mean, we've seen it. Passes will go astray. Not every shot is on target. Every game does feel a little bit different because you don't know what exactly is going to happen. That's a great, great view there from the camera angle. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you got a copy of PES 2020... and it kind of looked like this out of the box. You know, they had given you the option to tweak the camera angle, to slow the game down, to play at a better refined pace. You know, would you be happy with that? And then they can start adding different elements to the game. You know, more animations and just the little things that they need to do to sort of improve the game even more. Because yeah, we do see the same recycled animations from this year and last year. But you know what? FIFA do the same. I know they do, because when you sort of read the comments of different FIFA games, people get annoyed with it because there hasn't been enough progression this year and there's not enough differences from the last year's copy. Yeah, we've all been there, we've all seen it. But yeah, for me personally, I love the offline side of things and I've enjoyed it. And I just think this gameplay here, any kind of PC mods that are added, is a good foundation for the game. And this isn't to do with licensing, because I know licensing is an issue. I know we're not going to get the amp boards. I know we're not going to get all the chants and the scoreboards, you know, and every single player faces. They can't do that. They don't have the licenses. But what they can do is certainly fix the gameplay. and change it and enhance it and make it look like this, because I think this is something that people would enjoy more than what we do yet. Well, let's see what we can do here with Sessegnon. Good challenge by the defender. Well, there's a misplaced pass. It happens. It's scrappy. You know, it's a scrappy game. Because guess what? When you play Fulham against Crystal Palace, not every single pass in the world is going to go to every single player. Certain players, yes, are better on the ball than others. But this isn't Barcelona. This isn't Real Madrid. And even they make mistakes. See, I just kind of wanted to put this video out because I think now's a good time to do it. We are into February. You know, PES came out this year, or last year, sorry, in August. Oh, that's unlucky. So it's not, you know, miles and miles away. Konami are going to have to get their socks on and start moving, you know, quicker this year on the gameplay. And I hope to see a lot of changes across the board when it comes to the gameplay and when it comes to Master League, the game mode, and enhancing it and making it look better, more modern, more refined. That's sort of my my dream and my wish. So yeah, let's actually pause it right now. So this is we're talking about cameras. Let's change it, right? Let's alternate and play something a little bit different. So say I wanted to play a little bit closer to the action. So let's actually zoom this in. And I don't want to press the button too far down, otherwise sometimes the game does crash when you do that. But if we wanted to zoom this in to about 7, let's say 18. So I could put this on 18 and I could change the camera height down. And the angle I could actually put down as well. So that's what we're playing on. Now, if we had the luxury of doing this on the fly, and now we've got a little bit of a different looking game. This could cater towards someone else, completely different to myself, who wants to play like this. Some may find it harder than others. Some may find it easier. Personally, I like to see more of the field because it's, you know, it's more natural. Oh, that's a lovely little bit of football. Once again, Zaha, you know, it's on his weaker foot. On his right foot, maybe that's in the back of the net. You never know. But good interplay. They played it well. A lovely fed-off pass, but just the wrong side of the post. What happened there? Oh no, player fell over before the ball even came to him. Must have got shoved in the back. Well, here comes Schlupp with a chance. Fizzed in. Now, this is nice play by Crystal Palace, but we managed to just about get it out, and that's going to be a foul, referee. Yes, it is. Now, talking about fouls and referees in the last couple of minutes here, I think they need to be worked on, don't they? Because we've had a lot of problems with the referee giving a foul when it clearly isn't, or it is a foul and the referee doesn't. I don't think we see enough penalties. I know that's a problem as well. You know, and I don't mind the referee actually giving wrong decisions because it happens, right? This isn't, you know, VAR isn't everywhere. And referees make mistakes, but when they constantly make them time and time again, and they sort of stops the ebb and flow of the game, you know, it does get a little bit annoying. And I think they could probably work on fixing the referees in the long run. Oh, that's a cracking ball. Go on, Shirley, you're in, son. Well, we were in. Now we can lay that back and then line up a strike, and unlucky boy. Couldn't quite keep it down. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. As I say, overall, would you be happy if sort of PES 2020 came out and you were having the ability to change the broadcast camera and make it sort of look like this more than what we normally see? Because I don't like the look of the game out the box. I just don't. I think it looks meh, if we're saying a word. It doesn't really make sense. But, you know, it could look better, couldn't it? And the gameplay, I've always enjoyed. Yes, it's got its problems. Oh, nice bit of play, but there we go. I mean, there's the difference. They miss a couple of chances, they put one away. And it's a good finish as well. It's gone straight through the crowd. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, that is one of the bad things about playing in these stadiums. The newly created ones that aren't necessarily meant for this game. But this was nice. On the chest, and then bang, right into the top corner. Yeah, I can't say I'm a huge fan of this angle. As I said before, I like to have the camera angle zoomed out a little bit. I think it was just to give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about and how I want the game to play and look next year. And then use this as a foundation and just keep increasing it over and over. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, leave a like, hit subscribe for more. We've got our Master League coming as well. And keep that bashing through because I'm certainly enjoying it. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. And yeah, once the PES 2020 news starts flowing, well, probably in a couple of months, I'd say, we're going to get some sort of information. Then we'll definitely get it out and all the news will be live here on my channel. But until next time, hope you guys did enjoy it. Another thing they could fix is these things right here, the player rankings. They're always the same, aren't they? They're not good enough. I mean, if you score 2 goals in a match, you should be getting a 9 or whatever. But they haven't fixed those in how many years? I don't know. But anyway, we'll be back shortly. Till next time, take care.